This is, can you believe it, after 6 or 7 months of owning this bubby, the Transalp, I've clocked up more than 8,000 miles. So I've been a busy boy, having fun, through rain, sunshine, no sleet, because we didn't get a bad winter this winter, 2024. So that was pretty good. And yeah, so we've had a great time. So just going in for a service, having a new rear tyre, and the usual oil and fluids and other bits and pieces. So when we get back, she will be done. But for now I want to talk about the general review that I can now do after all those miles and time. I genuinely believe I can give you a good all-round feedback on how this bike's been, what I've done and why I've changed bits and pieces, and what's she like. She everything I thought she'd be from the upgrade from the XL750X and general. So let's crack on. Let's start with the big one, why I changed in the first place. Comfort, the seat. Okay, so the original blue seat, which I still have, but I don't have on at the moment, is initially, when you sit on it, quite firm. You think, oh, hello, this is going to be a bit of a problem. Very similar to the feeling I had about the GB350S seat. You know, you sit on it, you think, oh dear, this is a hard one. But not a problem with long travel comfort on either of those seats, the 350 seat or the 750, this blue seat. But because I'm a 30-inch inside leg, but 5'10", and weigh too much. I'm still working on it, honest. No donuts for me. Anywho's, Honda make officially a seat that's 20 mil lower. Don't know how they do it, and I was worried. I thought maybe there won't be the amount of padding in there and all that sort of stuff. So I bought it. It's not expensive for a seat. Put it on. It's black, which is a shame because it gets away from the iconic blue seat look of the bike, but hey, no problem. And for both seats I'd already purchased a alternative for the lamb's wool cover. It's like a sort of grill material. See if I can take a shot of that for you. And I have to say, it is a really comfortable proposition. Both are comfortable on the bottom, on the derriere, on the place that I had absolute major issues with the XL750X. But no issues at all. And with it being 20 mil lower, which I've got on now, it brings me down about an inch so that there's no turbulence at all. When you go up, you can just get it now. I can hear the noise. Go down 20 mil, nothing. And also flat foot on the deck, so it makes for a much more confident resting position, you know, when you come into a rest. Whereas the blue seat is just a bit too tall for little short legs like myself. And you can get a wobble, or sometimes even nearly miss it, or it goes over slightly, you know. So yeah, the seat issue has gone. I have very comfortable rear end over long distances, and I've done some serious travelling, as you can tell, 8,000 miles plus. So just then when I just stopped, my foot just went straight down onto the deck. You know, no problem, very confident. So yeah, what I do say, yes, sorry, I went off on a little tangent there. What I do say is Honda really would benefit selling this lower seat with the bike, catching more of a market, and then making the taller seat for you taller riders, but make them both blue. So maybe there'd be I don't know, a small and a large, I suppose. So you've got an S underneath and a large underneath, you know, so you know which one's what. That way you can cater for many more people. I would say you'd sell more bikes, to be honest, because when people go into the shop and try them on, you know, put their leg over, you know, even I did, I was like, not sure. But when I tested the bike, as you saw in my very first couple of videos, it wasn't a problem. It's just if it's there, you can tell you're tippy-toeing rather than sure-footing. So, but all the other benefits of this bike, which I'm going to go through now, are outweigh that big time. Still do. I'm going to break power down to the power of the bike, down to its raw power, its 90 brake horsepower, and what that means, and how this. Oh, my automatic doodahs didn't turn off. How this breaks down with the various different modes, and I'll leave agility, which is still power, I suppose, later on. So the power, 90 brake horsepower, 750cc engine, goes like a and it doesn't do in excess of the road speed ossifer. Is there enough power in this bike to do everything you want? Absolutely. It can be calm, like it is now. We're in sport mode now, which is full power, with full ABS, engine braking, and we're just plodding along in third gear, 20 mile an hour or so. No problem, right? But show it the open road and open the throttle, and my God, you hang on. It's not a sports bike, of course, but it is very nippy. I mean, you can get yourself out of sticky situations just with a flick of a throttle. I mean, hopefully we're a little safe enough. Ready? And like that. And it sounds good. And as you can hear, it makes you chuckle. Makes me chuckle. Well, a lot of things make me laugh, so it's not really a good gauge, I suppose. But I'm laughing and I'm enjoying myself. Beautiful sunny day and a throttle to play with. See, with the engine braking, yeah. So there's more than enough power to do everything you need to do, and even in town. Now I've been on a major hunt, and that's why I've been looking at the 350 and the CL500 and the Z650 RS for smaller bikes, not necessarily engine, but in size. This is a big bike. I don't know if the sharp-eyed of you would notice there that I've just done all that speed and down to road speed, just with engine braking. So there's enough, you know, it does really do does really do work. That's good English, isn't it? Like me, David. Did you go to school? That was the fallen road. So, oh, here we go. Take it easy. Bit of off-road. Bit messy. Right. If you hear any clanks and bangs, I don't know if you will. I don't really pick it up on the mic because I'm using the DJI mini mic in my crash helmet, so you shouldn't really. But I've got some loose things in my top box. So if it's that, I do apologise. It's not the bike. I hope. So yeah, the power, in summary, there is more than enough. You can do all the motorway speed you want to do. Leave that up to you. You can do calm lane stuff, just like I'm doing right now. You know, I'm not bothering racing, I'm just cruising along, taking in the sunshine. Plus the roads are a little bit dicky, plus I've got a whole load of bicycles. Man-powered bicycles. Slight right turn up here. So yeah, all the power you need to do everything you need and to get you out of trouble if you ever get into it, which I have a couple of times. My own, 1 or 2 times my own fault, but I freely admit that. I'm a little bit stupid. But doing less and less as we're going along. Learning lessons. So yeah, all very good. Can't complain on any level on the power of this bike. Plus, if you do want to chill really and chill out, you can always just, I'm in sport, so I'm just going to drop it to standard. Did you hear that? Then you just, when you got the throttle off, and now there's less urgency. It drops the power down by, I worked the maths out the other day, from, it's roughly down to 70 horsepower. So now you're getting, closer to your A2 level. And I do believe actually sorry, this is another tangent, I do apologise. I do believe they can make these bikes A2 compliant for you guys who are not doing your full test yet. So you need that 47 brake horsepower, something like that, which I think would be similar to, if I just get around this corner. So if I now drop this to rain, so now we're down to, it's giving me quarter power, right? So 90, 45 is half, so yeah, just under. So this is under, right? So this is more like, your, what would it be? That would be the, I'm just trying to think, what's that 40 brake horsepower bike that's around at the moment? Triumph 400. And plus, see that there's no, it's very draggy. There's no, yeah. We can still get up there, but not like as nippy as he was. So let's put it back into, and obviously I've got gravel, use a sports, no, yeah, put it back in sport, I like sport. Okay, now we're back in sport. So you can play with that, to give you a power delivery that best suits your current road or mental mood, as it were. You just want to chill, put it in standard. But if you fancy a little bit of a giggle, like I always do, mostly, whack the sport on and put a smile on my face. Okay, tyres. Metzler something Street. As you can tell, I won't be a brand ambassador for many people because I never forget I forget the names of everything. So that's how important these things are to me. But anyway, I got Metzler something, begins with a K, I'll put it on the screen. Tyres, street tyres. Came with the bike, wasn't my choice. The rear, as I can show you here, squared off, which is normal. You know, just done 8,000 miles. There's 8,000 less rubber on it. And we've got the HS2 thing going on. So obviously the lorries are, you know, bringing large clods of mud onto the road. And I hit one of them one day, and that was a bit of a giggle. I felt sorry for the car behind me because I thought I'm gonna drop. You know, I was going, but somehow my guardian angel said no, not today. And I managed to get back up, but I had to give acknowledgement to the poor driver behind me because I'm sure they felt, oh dear, this isn't going to be good. Even I did. But the tyres gripped and still kept going, you know, and held. And I've done loads, as 8,000 plus miles on it, in all weathers, and I've never had a problem, never had a wiggle or a slide or anything untoward, other than that one, of course. I think there was one other thing, I can't remember where though, so I can't really give detail. But again, you know, I stayed upright, and it's been felt, well, okay, I'm going to be honest. The reason why I'm putting a new tyre on is it was felt it could still give me 2,000 more, and I've got no reason why not to question that. And as you can probably see from the video, I'll show you again, you can see that there's plenty of tread, and probably someone would have that tyre for a tenner and get a couple of thousand miles out of it. But anyway, somebody unfortunately hit me, rear-ended me. Now thankfully, after the tyre was taken off, thankfully no wheel, spindle or bike damage was done. But when we looked at the video, it was a right old clunk, you know, it was a proper tyre crunching clunk. So because it was close to change time, it was reported back to the driver and said, look, by the people at Honda, at my Honda garage, that because of the power of that whack and the condition of the tyre, I was basically told just to change it because the wall could have been crushed in and it could have done internal damage and God knows what else. So for safety's sake, it was reported back. The chap, to be fair, did pay for it immediately, so there was no mucking about. You know, that a new tyre will be put on. And that will be the same make, so that'll be good. So yeah, they grip, they hold, they do everything you need to. They've saved me in wet conditions, dry conditions, obviously, a few tricky conditions, and it looks like value for money. So can't say anything bad about the tyres. Agility. Okay, well look, there's a wiggle. There you go. She's agile. No. Weighs 200 and something kilos. 208 kilos, I think, wet. But you don't feel it. She feels quite light and nimble. Only when you're stopping can you feel it. That'll be the same for any bike, really. But for me, agility becomes important when you're in town, nipping in and out of the traffic and all that sort of thing. Making progress, but safely. And I can't fault her. Yeah, she's a bit big, you know, width-wise on the handlebars. So some situations you're looking at thinking, can I? Unlike, like I say, I've got to go back to the GB350, which is a lot inner, more in, so you can actually take those questionables without any stress. Whereas with this, you've got to definitely think, is there just over a fag width? Can I get through there? Yeah, very agile. I've got no complaints, again, with the agility of this bike and how agile it is. So, electronics. You have some bits and pieces hidden underneath in the menus, just like the service intervals, which the engineer has left on, so they don't say it's screaming for a service. Well, I'll adjust that in a minute. But the electronics give you what you need, really. The speed you're doing, what you shouldn't be doing, the gear you're in, temperature of the bike, the total amount of miles that you've done, your trips, if you set them up and use those, how much fuel you've got in bar form only, not a range, a numerical range representation, which is a bit of a shame, since the GB350 has that, which is a £4,000 bike. This is an £8,000 bike, and it doesn't have that. So maybe Honda could do a quick, free firmware upgrade and give us our range, which will be very useful on a bike like this. You have a few different fascias you can use, like a dial and this, but I like the bar version, which I've got on now. Rev counter at the top. That's it, really. I mean, there's some bits and pieces under the hood which I'm going to include in accessories, because you don't get that as standard. That's just the standard issues. I'm going to break this down into two parts. So they're the ones that came with the bike. That was part of the already included add-ons, because this is the X demo. If you remember, I put the 50 miles of the 60 miles that was on it, but it already had various things that I'm going to go through now, and then I'll end with the accessories I've added to add comfort or usability or safety. So, what came with it? The tall screen right in front of us, which has been a blinder with helping keep off a lot of the wind and some of the rain, because my chest stays very dry. And as you know, I've got a very bad chest, so keeping all the pounding wind and rain off it helps. Heated grips, this is why I didn't mention those in the electronics. They're an add-on, and they're enabled when you add them on. You switch it on in there, and then you can use this button here to access how much power you've got, and this one to go up and down. Quick shifter was added, not by me, by it was already on the bike, which is a giggle when I was testing it, because I never used one before, but now I can't live without it. And that's just great fun, up and down, no problem. Few misses. It's not like the smoothest, but it certainly does help. It's my bad habit, often going for the clutch. So that was nice. What else was on it? The 12 volt pluggy thing to put your adapter if you wish. Centre stand, because how else are you going to do your basic maintenance without that? And I think that's it over the standard bike. So it's the screen, the grips, the doodah, and doodah is a technical term, by the way. The quick shift, and the thing already comes with the USB-C under the seat, which is a bit of an odd place to put it, but hey ho. You can always run a cable up the front, but I don't. I'm going to now explain what I do for electronics. So now we'll have a chat about the electronics I've put on, or no, not electronics I'm talking about, sorry, getting all confused, which is very easy for me. The add-ons and stuff that I've done. So we know about the seat, so we changed that, and the cover that I put on it to make it a little bit more comfortable, which is fine. I've added the quad lock adapter, which is the powered version, which then goes to a Thunderbox, which is like a little adapter that takes one line of power and feeds it out to all your bits and pieces, of which I've only got 2 on here. So that's this charging the phone at all times. And then over there that you can see a little box is my Innov K7. That's the sort of thing that tells me it's on and working, and I can push that silver button to capture, keep an image, as it were. But on the front of the bike and on the rear of the bike are 2 2K cameras, which give high resolution images, which have saved me on a few occasions. That idiot that hit me in the rear, said he didn't see me. Well, I'm stopped at a zebra crossing, but he wasn't looking. He was not looking in the right direction. Dunstable Downs, all right. So yeah, the K7, that's powered into the Thunderbox as well, which is under the seat, which I'll show you here how that's all going on. And I haven't taken the tank off, so the cable goes underneath, down through the black part here, and then out and through to the back, which I'll show you, because someone did actually ask about that. So hopefully this little video insert will help you do yours. There's also a microphone in there, which if I fancy listening to the engine sound for some strange reason, or including it on some video, it actually does the best recording of it, because where it is, it's all fully protected, so you get no wind and you just get the engine. And so I thought, well, instead of not having it on, I might as well just chuck it in there, because you never know. Right, yeah, the guards I put on there, the Honda ones, not the Barkbusters, they're the Hondas, and they work well. Keep quite a lot of especially during the chillier months, a lot of the chill off. So when you've got the heated grips on and the heated gloves, which I've got, your hands are really, really nice. I've not had any issues with that at all, cold hands. I've added the top box, which is the capper that came off my CB500, and which I then moved on to the NC750X, so now it's on here. So it's had a lot of use, and that I picked up for 40 quid at a car boot sale. So it's cost me a couple in mounts, but no, and it's a great top box, very big, and it's done a great job, and he's doing a great job. But I also got, every now and again I need panniers, but I don't like those hard panniers, so I've got the soft panniers. So I've got soft panniers, and I chose the Shad 40 panniers, which I did do a small video on, because I like the fact that you could lock them onto the bike and take them off if need be, unlock them, and you lock the catches, so you can actually just either take the bags off, or you can just unlock the catches, get your gear, and then lock them back up again. Now I do know that a hard-nosed thief is going to just come along with a knife and cut them and get your goodies inside. But generally, where I go and what I do, I'm either taking them off and taking them into the building, or it's left in a place that I can see. So I don't normally have that problem, and I have a garage at home, so the bike's always in view. And they're really good. I do like those. They've got inners as well. Wet liners, is it? Stop them getting wet, which work. But this is what. Oh right, okay. So I'm coming at this at a different way, and I just realised where I am. Good when that happens, isn't it? You go a whole completely different way and then suddenly realise where you are. Inside with the shads, you get the kit, as it were. You get the two bags, the liners, and the brackets, so they fit your bike specifically. So do buy the correct ones. But also, you get these two bags that seem waterproof, because I've had them out in all weathers, which are really handy as just quick day-to-day, totally insecure. I wouldn't leave them on there anywhere, unless of course you're in visual sight of the bike. I don't know what they're called. They're about 10 to 15 quid each if you want extras, but you get one each in each bag. They normally sit on the outside of the bag, so you put your your day-to-day knickknacks in. And I thought, do you know what? When I'm riding the bike, I actually don't need the top box on or the bags for day-to-day, but I do need something to carry my waterproofs, which are the Scott range, because I've gone through a lot of different waterproofs, and the Scott range are waterproof, which I got from my friends at Urban Rider, and J&S accessories. I've got one from one and one from the other. So I looked at these bags and I thought, well, what do I need? So I've got my brake alarm that clips around the brake disc. I've got my D1000 hip lock, but that goes on the back. When I'll show you, well, I'll insert a video showing you that. And I've got other bits and pieces, and the one I am building up is a puncture repair kit, because it's inner tubes. So I'm getting an inner tube, and I've got the bits and pieces, and it's got cut over bits and bobs. So I'm going to carry one with that, and one with like the knickknacks, a few straps. Just the day-to-day stuff, and then like place to put my gloves and my other glasses. So so that is really good. I make heavy use of that. I do like that, what Motor does. It flags, red if you're going a bit too quick for the caution point, speed camera. So in summary, what's this bike like to live with? Over many thousands of miles and many months in all weathers and conditions, with all the relevant attacks from drivers. In general, what's this bike like? This bike is everything you need. Honest. It has all the relevant power bands that if you want to just cruise or do something naughty or do something even naughtier. It has all the agility you need. It's 60 odd miles to the gallon. And a good solid platform. Now, there is a problem. And it's not actually with the Triumph. It's not the Triumph. Not actually with the Transalps. It's going to sort them Triumphs. It's not with this bike at all. Nothing to do with this bike. Sort of. It makes buying a second bike as a lower capacity or more targeted use option, like the GB350 or the CL500 or the X650 RS that I'm looking into, it makes it a very hard task, because this bike does everything well. So I'm not going to say it does anything perfect, because no one or nothing does anything perfect. But it does do all that it does do really well. Like, this is up the hill, and that would have kept going. So you can leave people behind uphill without even batting an eyelid, if you need to. Or you can cruise like this, and then you can go calm when you're coming up to the GGs. So yeah, it makes buying a second bike very, very difficult, because every time I think, yeah, the GB 350's got it, or the CL500, or whatever, this bike shows me that what I intended to buy that bike for, to do, this does. So that's a problem. In as much as, it keeps money in my pocket, which is a bad thing, I know. But if that's the only thing I can, complain about, well, then, that sells this bike. Everything you need is in this package. And there's extras you can add. You can add on the bars if you're into that kind of thing. I might get some of those, what they call Etler and block or something, I don't know, that fit down there, because they're black and they match the engine properly. Don't know why Honda don't do that. And you can get the lights if you wish, if you need them. You don't need the lights. Oh, one thing, yes, didn't mention about the light, did I? Front, excellent, absolutely excellent. I do have a video of that as well. Never had a problem with not being able to see at night, and I do a lot of night riding, going to work at odd hours in the morning and things. So can't complain about that at all. And stick up, down. So that's it. I'm now going to ride off into the sunset, as it were, and enjoy myself some more while sorting out that maintenance thingy. And as always, with the croaky voice, because I've got a bit of a cough on my chest, as always, I love you lots. Stay safe and keep well. Ta-ta for now.